Well, it's that time again to call out Channel 1. And I am just up to here with them. Again, it's the same old, same old. I am just beyond disgusted that today they don't even want to bother covering any of the crime. They are just too obsessed covering what the city council was doing today, talking about the outdoor dining sheds, and honestly, all I'm going to say on that is I'm just upset. I'm just beyond disgusted, and, at what point do you realize that when is it going to be time for us to just say enough is enough with this channel? Because they're probably losing viewers each and every day knowing that I keep making videos about them. And, I hate to say it, but you got the other channels at least caring about the crime. Alright, and I know Channel 7 can't be everywhere, and I get all that, but at least they did have cameras where the shooting, happened in the Bronx. All the shootings. I said shooting Pearl. I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm really trying not to yell like I did a couple days ago when I called out Eric Adams for being a racist. But, at what point do you say to yourself, this is just enough? This TV station just has to stop, thinking about themselves for once. It's like when I watch the morning news on this TV station, I just see a bunch of preppy people like News 12 in Long Island. They're constantly talking about themselves. And, I hate to say it, but Pat Kiernan has been degrading in the paper segment lately. He's talking way too much about finance. So if that tells you what Channel 1's priorities are these days, then look at their website. Look at their website. So we're going to get into all the news going on that should be covered, but it just seems that they don't care. And, they haven't updated the public safety thing. But however, they're talking about the MTA, and at least they're talking about, the fact that I'm going to get a little bit of a benefit beginning on March 1st, that I'm going to be able to pay $5 to use the city terminal zone on the Long Island Railroad. Where is it? Ah, okay, so it says here, city ticket will be offered at $5. Okay, so that's interesting. I never even knew that. City ticket program was only for the, weekend, so they're just extending it to weekdays. But again, I would love to be able to take the 219 out from Penn beginning next month. For $5, that's a very good value right there. Okay, so we just want to see if they have anything about the St. Albans shooting. That's what I want to get into first. In fact, hang on. Let's go to Channel 7. ABC 7 NY shooting. Yeah, because they have it more organized. Here we go. Because again, I'll have to give Channel 7 credit. Again, they are more on top of the crime lately. And, Channel 4's doing a good job. Channel 11's doing a good job. Channel 2's doing a good job. So it just seems that, again, Channel 1's ignoring this. I mean, there are only 24-hour news station. They should be covering this. But they're not. Okay, here we go. Separate shootings leave 3 people dead and 2 wounded in New York City within a 7-hour time period on Monday evening, February 7th. A 39-year-old woman was killed and 2 men injured in an apartment drive-by triple shooting in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. So there we go. Here's the first incident. A gunman opened fire on East 137th Street just after 4 p.m. Monday and then sped off in a white BMW while a man on the sidewalk pointed a firearm at the fleeing vehicle and ran after it. So they do have a video of it from the Crime Stoppers, so let's see if we can play it.
Insanity in New York City. This time an innocent bystander shot and
oh, here's a shorter report from Bill Ritter.
Shots fired from a white sedan. This is on East 137th Street in the Mott Haven section. Happened about 4:15 this afternoon. 39-year-old Gloria Ortiz hit in the head and pronounced dead at Lincoln Hospital. 2 men were also shot. Sources telling us at least one of them was likely the intended target. So far,
and burned.
Hang on.
East 137th Street in the Bronx.
Let me mute this. Now you can see it. So here comes the car. Let's see where the car comes from. Yeah, here's the car. Here it is. This is it right here. That's the car they're looking for. But I know during the noon broadcast today, they did go further in. Yeah, that's the one they aired at noon. Yeah, here we go. They had a better edited piece with Derek Waller. So here's the car. It's just literally a drive-by shooting. You know, Eric Adams is laughing at this. You know he is. He's all talk about the crime. But come on, you know he's secretly laughing in those underground nightclubs, being flamboyant without a mask on, violating the indoor mask mandate. Come on, Eric Adams. You know, we all know you're a hypocrite. We all know you are. And again, we made a very bad mistake not electing Curtis Sliwa. So by not electing Curtis Sliwa, and remember, I was supposed to be on the Sliwa transition team, we had initial plans back in October to have the Guardian Angels, under the direct command of the mayor's office, patrol the bad areas along with the police. That was what we were planning on beginning last month. But because Sliwa didn't win, because we didn't have the executive power, us the Republicans, we couldn't do that! Sorry for yelling, but you know, we were supposed to have more Guardian Angel patrols in the areas that see the most crime in the city. Like Mott Haven, for an example. That was actually on the short list we had in mind. So, this was about a week before the actual election that, you know, I got a private email, somebody in the transition team suggesting what we were going to do talk about the crime in January this year. But no. So let's read the one in Kingsbridge. Uber driver on a scooter was fatally shot in the Kingsbridge Heights section of the Bronx. The victim, a 39-year-old named Christian Bueno, was shot in the torso on Sedgwick Avenue at 10 p.m. Bueno was in possession of drugs at the time he was killed. The motive was unknown. Bueno... Okay, there we go. Now the one in Queens. So, obviously, I want to take a look at the one in Queens. Because the one in Queens... let's just say all hell has broken loose. Again, as usual. As just usual. Neighborhood sports bar on Linden Boulevard in St. Albans. DeQuinn Orr, 33 years old, was fatally shot. Taken to Long Island Jewish Medical, pronounced dead at the hospital. There had been no arrest. Unbelievable. You know, thankfully AM New York had more details. I want to see where the shooting was in Queens. 194-01 Linden Boulevard. Let me see here now. Let me put it here. Put it on Google Maps and look it up. I have an idea where this might be. Yep! Not too far from the St. Albans train station. No surprise. Really. And funny enough, they get the most bus service in the Q27. Go figure. I mean, remember, this is an area that has the median income of $90,000 to $100,000. So that's kind of surprising. St. Albans has actually improved the past couple of years, but again, the crime is just mobile. You know that. You know that. And then I find this out on Twitter from one of the crime accounts that I follow. Where was the Queens Courier? Why didn't they cover this? It's happened in Forest Hills. I'll show you where it is on the map in just a second. Manager of a Queens CVS was stabbed in the hand by a shoplifter who swiped cough medicine and shampoo on Tuesday afternoon. You gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. And honestly, this doesn't surprise me that someone just goes into a drugstore just to rob codeine. Alright, codeine you can easily get high of. It's very easy. So I'm just Forest Hills, for crying out loud. Okay, so this happened Queens Boulevard near 71st Avenue. So this is literally right by the train station. Police said the suspect, believed to be in his 40s, was also slugged the employee in the face. The crook fled off on foot and was last seen heading westbound on Queens Boulevard. He made off with about $200 worth of NyQuil, Dayquil, and Dove shampoo. So why would he also rob that? Oh, okay, I figured this out. Probably trying to sell in the aftermarket for a cheaper price. That's what I'm thinking. After the incident, the suspect went to Booth Memorial Medical Center in Flushing in stable condition. So obviously, again, very scary. Again, I know where the CVS is. Alright? I mean, thankfully, I never go to this one. I always go to the one in Kew Gardens. But this guy could have went to the one in Kew Gardens, for crying out loud. So let's look it up. Yep, this is exactly where it is. Hang on here. Is this the right one? How many CVS's are on Queens Boulevard? Oh, okay. So we can put a CVS all over Queens Boulevard. We can open numerous ones, okay? We can open numerous runs along Queens Boulevard, but we have to shut down one on Francis Lewis Boulevard right by a nursing home. I mean, what is their priorities? And obviously, this is the one that I always go to. This is the CVS right here. Right by the Kew Gardens Union Turnpike subway station. So there you go. I mean, what else is new? Before I get back into the main crime news, let's talk about the fires that Channel 1 has also been ignoring, because we had two major fires that happened. One in Midtown, a vacant hotel, and then another fire that happened in Brooklyn. So let's read this one first in Midtown. I think I have an idea where this one is. Here we go, 401 7th Avenue. So let me look up where this building used to be. I think it used to be right by Penn Station. Let me see. Let's see. Yep. I know exactly where this is. It used to be right across the street from Penn. Yep. So I know exactly where this building is. Yep. So let me just organize my tabs here so that way I don't get confused. Here we go. So, convoy of fire engines descended upon 401 7th Avenue at 2 p.m. on Monday, February 7th, after several 911 calls reported dense plumes of black smoke emitting from the high-rise. 23-story hotel was vacant of guests due to developing demolition. The hotel, which closed its doors April of 2020, is scheduled to be replaced by a 1,270-foot tall office skyscraper. Wow, that's very unfortunate. I literally remember one time going into the hotel asking to use the bathroom and they didn't even let me. So, I mean, that's sad. I'm heartbroken by this. The Hotel Pennsylvania is shutting down? I mean, that's unfortunate. The sight of black clouds surrounding the building drew spectators who filmed the incident, and then 20 FDNY units who battled the blaze. So it took about 78 firefighters and then 45 minutes to bring the fire under control. No injuries have been reported. There is no current clear motive on how the fire did start. So, yeah, obviously you got to give the FDNY a lot of credit. I mean, it's been rough for them too this year. I mean, remember, it's been 1 month since that awful apartment fire that happened in the Bronx. Okay, so this happened, when did this happen? Okay, they don't even mention what time the fire even started. So let me see if I can find anything else about it. Hotel Pennsylvania. Let me look it up. Oh, okay, so Channel 7 actually had something about it. Good. Thank you. Okay, so this happened right around 2 p.m. Wow. So if I was in Midtown, I probably already would have been inside Penn Station catching the 219 out to Port Washington. I probably would have not even known this was going on. Wow. And again, Channel 7 seems to be on the case. In fact, they even covered the fire in Brooklyn, too. Oh, and by the way, there is an update to this story that happened in Brooklyn. Channel 7 actually interviewed the a relative of the victim who got punched. So, again, Channel 7, if you want to avoid all the nonsense, I guess just try to watch the other stations, because they seem to really care about what's going on compared to, And don't forget this. Wasn't it Channel 7 who said that they would spend a half hour covering the crime? At least they did. Okay, so here we go. Vacant building at 394 Gates Avenue. There was a vacant building collapse, 3-alarm fire, 6 a.m. yesterday morning. So very, very unfortunate. So there was one firefighter who was rushed to Wyckoff Medical with injuries. And today, FDNY officials confirmed that a body was found in the rubble. I mean, come on. Channel 1 could literally be covering this, but they don't. Oh, and then look at this. This building was hit with a stop work order in June of last year. I mean, really? Oh, and then look at this. Major infrastructure news. I'm going to go off topic here, but this is very important. There's a new elevator opening in Brooklyn. Really? Wait. Okay, here we go. So, this is outside the FG station in Park Slope. So, finally, they're going to make an ADA compliant station on the G line again. Which, again, the G line barely has any elevators. Right? It's the only line that never had an elevator. Now they're finally prioritizing elevators. And by the way, I was supposed to speak at CPOC. I'm going to speak to them later this month on the 22nd about elevators, because I have something to say to Channel Eber. Believe me. Okay, so we're going to read 3 more, and then we'll wrap up this video. So, robbery in Woodhaven. So here we go. Just before 1:30 on Sunday morning, January 30th, 2 suspects entered a Shell gas station at 9005 Myrtle Avenue near Forest Park and began to remove 4 cases of beer without paying for them. A 56-year-old employee tried to stop them, but then was pushed away, and one pulled out a firearm while the other showed a knife. The 2 men then exited the station with the beer and took off in a 2022 Ford Explorer. There were no injuries. Oh, and then look at this. Unauthorized credit card purchase was, done by one of the men here, January 18th. And then, look at this, a carjacking. Same suspects. January 19th, Metropolitan Avenue and 74th Street. 37-year-old woman left her 2018 Mazda sedan unattended while still running, and the suspect entered the vehicle and drove off on Metropolitan Avenue. So here we go. Here we go. Where's the vehicle? Where's the Mazda? Yeah, I think the Mazda's up there. Up in that guy's swagger walking. He's up to no good. Yep. Yeah, here he goes. He's going to jack the Mazda. Watch. Look, here he goes. He's swagger walking. He's up to no good. Look at that. He's casually going in like it's his own car. I mean, that person's like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah, because that lady, I could tell, like, her face isn't even blurred that well. That's a lady walking by. She's like, huh? And I would have never realized it anyway, but still, I mean, this is what you get with bail reform. This is what you get. We got two more we're going to read, and then we're going to wrap this up, because I'm just disgusted with Channel 1, as usual. Cops seek a Jamaica sexual creep. Here we go. Confines of the 103rd Precinct. This happened at 9 p.m. last Friday, February 4th, in the backyard of an abandoned home at 106-14 153rd Street. A 40-year-old victim was approached by the suspect who allegedly stabbed her one time in jest and then forced her to perform a sexual act. The suspect then fled on foot in an unknown direction. The victim was taken to Jamaica Hospital, where she was listed in stable condition. Okay, here we go. So there is surveillance video. The suspect is seen wearing a light-colored jacket with dark shoulders, light-colored jeans, construction boots. The suspect is seen wearing a dark jacket as well. So, obviously, you can't fool, the Crime Stoppers. If they have a good tip, they'll follow up with it. Right? Because you got people who always contact them. Yeah, here we go. And then this happened on the Grand Central Parkway. Here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. I think I remember this one. I think we might have read about this. I don't remember, but this might be an update. Let's see. 24-year-old man walked into the 112 precinct in Forest Hills on January 27 to report the late-night car crash which happened 2 days prior. The man, who was the driver of a 2020 Honda Accord, said the incident took place on Monday, January 25th, just past midnight. The driver said he and the 18-year-old female passenger were traveling on the Grand Central Parkway when his car allegedly struck the center median. The teenager was taken to Jamaica Hospital, where she was reported in stable condition. Police reported the 18-year-old had died from her injuries on January 27th. So, where on the Grand Central Parkway did this happen? I mean, where are the specifics? Let's see. No, that's not it. I mean, we remembered a, pedestrian getting struck, but I think this is a different incident. Alright, so we're not going to know anything else. So, with that being all said, we have to yet again wrap up another video where I call out Channel 1. And, this is not going to stop until they get their act together. Believe me. So, remember, Spectrum, I'm watching you. I'm always watching what you're up to. I'm checking your website. Okay? So that's it.